Okay, so this is a continuation of the original video of the Apple IIc teardown and repair. We're actually going to be taking a look at the 9-inch monochrome monitor here in this video. I'll talk a little bit about the stand. It's not much to it; it's just a stand. But primarily, we're going to be cleaning up the monitor here because it's pretty nasty. Real quickly, I do want to say something about the stand. So right here it has a screw that screws into the bottom of the monitor. That's how you detect the monitor. And it has these two I guess it's like a big long screw, and you can tighten it up so that the monitor doesn't move. You can position it wherever you want. So you basically, if you ever want to tighten it onto the monitor, you basically have to have like either a midget screwdriver or a coin. So there's that. This plastic piece seems to have yellowed, so I'll be cleaning that along with the monitor here when we actually de-yellow the plastic. And just in case you're wondering, on the bottom of the stand we actually have an Apple sticker here, and it just says stand, and it's got a model number. So for if anyone's actually looking to get a monitor, it looks like the stand was like a separate unit you could buy. It didn't come with a monitor, or maybe it didn't come with a monitor all the time. Maybe it was bundled at one point, but yeah, the stand's a separate unit. So just an FYI. Now let's take a look at the monitor here. So mine's it's not in bad shape, it's just really dirty. So there's a lot of like grime around the edges here. The screen just needs to be Windexed. The plastic's really yellowed. It looks worse in person than it does on camera, but God, it's just really bad. Especially on top here, it's just really yellow. We got some sticker residue here. The back, kind of the same thing. So we have our power input, video or composite video input, and we have our brightness, vertical position, and I can't remember what that's called, but it's basically if the picture is rolling, you can adjust it so the picture doesn't roll. Then here on the side we have our power switch, and on this side we have our contrast switch. Here's the bottom of the unit. We have the really big screw hole there for the stand, and if we look at the unit like this, here's 2 screws here on the back, and then there's 2 screws here in the handle, and then 2 screws here on the bottom, and that'll let you disassemble the unit. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take this thing apart, clean it up, de-yellow the plastic, and just get it back in like new shape, because this thing's pretty sweet. It's it's not a white monochrome monitor, it's a phosphorus green monochrome monitor, which is so retro. It's so cool. I love this thing, but it just needs some love. So we're gonna give it some love. We're gonna clean this thing up, de-yellow the plastic, and get it back in shape. So let's go ahead and take this thing apart. Okay, so there we go. Don't really know how this thing comes apart, honestly. I've never opened it. We've never opened one like it, so this is going to take some figuring out. Well, so maybe the back comes off first? I don't know. Let's see here. So, upon first opening it up, this is what we have. Okay. We have a screw right here, and looks like we have another screw right here for holding the plastic housing on. So let's go ahead and continue to take this thing out. Looks like this part. Okay, so the top part just folds out. There we go. So that's pretty interesting. God, look how yellow that is. That's disgusting. And then there's the top. So here we have, okay, so here we have the electron gun and the coils. Let's see if we can actually get the rest of the housing off. So I'm going to take out this screw here. And I'm going to take out this screw here holding the plastic in. Alright, so I finally got it. That screw I took out here on the top of this big piece of metal, that actually doesn't hold the case in. It's just, it doesn't do anything. It just kind of holds this piece in. So if we look here in the actual housing, where I took that screw out, it's not actually a piece of plastic that's screwed in. It's just like a clip, so that fooled me there. But this one does have to come out, this one piece here. And the trick to getting this thing apart is this power button will hold the case on, so you actually have to turn the unit on to push it in. And then we have the contrast wheel here, and you just kind of have to basically pull the sides out of the case and just kind of slide it off. And once you do that, it just slides off. So yeah, I'll be cleaning this back part of the case along with the top and the back here. And I'm going to try to get this front part of the case off too. So I'm just looking in here. It looks like we have 4 screws holding this cage in, that holds the CRT in place into the plastic. So I'm going to go ahead and take those out really quick. So there's some sort of metal covering here that we have to take off first to get this last screw. And it looks like that holds part of the cage together too. So yeah, there's that weird shielding piece there. Yeah, here's our last screw right here. Okay, so that's all 4 screws out. We also have a power switch here with a screw I can see. So I'm going to go ahead and take that one out too, just to be safe. I'm going to try to lift this guy out, or maybe I'll flip it over and lift off the top, and try to get this thing taken out of the case here. I want to put this back on as kind of like a stand, so I don't break these potentiometers. I don't want to break those. So yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to be as careful as possible when I'm doing this. Alright, so there's the front of our CRT. It's pretty gross. Yeah, so there's our LED kind of path there. That's not screwed in or anything, it's just kind of press melted in there. So I'll go ahead and clean that guy up. And here we have the CRT itself. And here's our little power LED down here. And I want to get something to prop this thing up on. It's kind of laying on that LED, and I don't want it to. There we go. So yeah, there's the CRT, guys. I can already see there's like a film of dirt around this thing. It's gross, so it definitely needs to be cleaned. So yeah, there we go. I'm going to go ahead and clean the plastic and de-yellow it. I'm going to clean the glass here to get it nice and clean. I'll also take this out to the air compressor and clean the just kind of blow the dust out of it. But other than that, I'm not going to worry about the electronics inside. Alright, just a second ago I know I said that I wasn't going to do anything to the insides, but I just looked and found some pots inside, so I figured, hey, you know, why not go ahead and adjust the monitor if I can, because it is a little bit out of alignment and whatnot. So I just got a test pattern here up on the monitor so you can see it, and I just want to point out a few things that I noticed. So first off, there's kind of like a pin cushion thing going on the top and bottom here. The sides are pretty much straight on. They're basically perfect. The top has kind of got like a little pin cushion effect going on. The bottom maybe a little bit less so, but it's there. Also, maybe I'm not seeing it right. I can't really eyeball it, but I'm thinking maybe the top portion of the test pattern and the bottom portion are not in equal length. I don't know, I have to get a ruler and test that out. So yeah. Also, I noticed that there's some large margins here on the edges of the left and right hand side of the screen. I'm not sure if that's by design or not. I just, you know, I've looked at Apple II or these Apple II monochrome monitors online, and every time I see one of these monitors, there's large margins. So I'm guessing it's by design. I'm also guessing that, you know, if you were actually typing text on here and you were to stretch this thing out, it would distort the text. So I'm fairly certain the margins on the edges on the sides are by design. Correct me on that if I'm wrong. I'm not a again, I'm not an Apple aficionado, nor am I a CRT aficionado. So I stand to be corrected on that. Also, I'm not totally sure, but there could be some skewing here. Just from the looks of this oval here, I'm not sure if it's kind of skewed off to the left-hand side a little bit. It's really hard to tell. It's almost you almost can't see it, but maybe it's there. I don't know. So maybe there's an adjustment inside where I can adjust that. I don't know. I haven't really looked closely, but I'll do that in a minute. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to show you what the current state of the CRT is. I mean, right now it's in pretty good shape. And the picture looks really good. But maybe we can get it to look better. I don't know. So let's go ahead and try that. I'll show you the pots inside. You know, if you're following along, I'll show you what they look like. So what I've done here is I've just I've taken off, or I've basically removed the screws from this back plate piece of metal here. It's just, there's a screw right here, and then there's a screw here on the back side that just needs to be taken out, and then this entire back bracket or whatever this is just kind of folds out. So yeah, I'll take this off, and real quickly I'll try to show you what pots maybe you can expect to see on the circuit board inside yours if you're following along. So if I just remove this carefully here, so on the actual circuit board down there are three potentiometers that you can adjust. So there's one right there. It's a V.LIN. That's actually vertical linearity, so that's a pot right there. As you can see, it's right beside the electron gun right there. If we move over here, you see the word right there. It says H subhold, and the corresponding pot is right there. You can kind of see it there. A little bit hard to make out, but it's actually it right there if I'm pointing at it. So it says H subhold. And then there's a third one over here on the opposite side of the gun. And if you look straight down, you should be able to see it right there. And you should be able to make out right there where it says H hold. That is the third potentiometer right there. That's on the circuit board itself. And then if we have a look at the back of the monitor here, we have the three user adjustable pots. These stick out the back of the case.
and then we've got a third one right here. It's this black one. So the black one here, you actually can't adjust this without taking the case off. And I read on the circuit board right behind the pot it says focus. It's really hard to see, so I couldn't get it on camera, but that's focus. And then one of these is vertical position, the other is vertical stretch, I think, and then the other one is vertical hold. So yeah, that's for a user. There's not a lot of options here. It's just the three. You do get 4 more on the actual circuit board itself. So yeah, we'll see what we can do about the picture. I mean, like I said, it's not too bad, but I'm kind of curious, and I kind of want to try to get the picture the best I can.
Alright, so I just went and looked up the service manual for this thing, and I noticed that in the service manual, the board in this CRT does not match exactly what's in the service manual. So this is either an earlier or later revision circuit board in this CRT. The date code on this thing is 1984, so I'm guessing this is one of the earlier revisions, but correct me on that if I'm wrong. But anyway, so the apart from the 3 main pots we have on the back that an end user can control, we have 4 more on the circuit board that normally you don't have access to. So those are focus, horizontal subhold, vertical linearity, and then horizontal hold. There are others listed in the service manual that this CRT doesn't have. So again, I don't know if there's like another revision, whatever, I don't know. But anyway, I don't think this is going to show up very well on the camera, but I'm looking at the CRT and I'm just looking at how well this is focused. I'm looking at the individual, scan lines and everything, and just looking closely, it looks perfect. I mean, I don't even need to adjust the focus on this. So yeah, I mean, the focus is perfect right now. I mean, it's great. Horizontal hold, I don't know exactly what that does. I don't know if that's a horizontal adjustment or a horizontal stretch, or if it's like a horizontal hold for if the screen's rolling. I don't know. Again, I'm not a CRT aficionado, so we'll find out real quick. For the same goes for the horizontal subhold. I'm not really sure, but I don't know, maybe it's like a fine adjustment for that, I don't know. And then we have the vertical linearity. So linearity should be stretching one half of the picture more than the other, or in trying to get both top and bottom halves equal. That should be what that means, but again, I'll have to find out. So again, I'm not going to touch focus. I'm going to go ahead and adjust the hold to see what happens. Okay, so this is horizontal hold. I'm not going to adjust this much. I just kind of want to see what it does to satisfy my own curiosity. So if I just gently turn this. Well, okay, so it adjusts the horizontal position. There you go. You can kind of see it. Might be hard to see on camera. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, so H hold adjusts the horizontal position. Let's see what H subhold does, or horizontal subhold. Okay, so horizontal subhold kind of does the same thing. Maybe that's a fine adjustment. It's a little bit jerky, so that pot's probably dirty or something, but I'm not really worried about it. Yeah, so that seems to be maybe a fine adjustment for the horizontal position. Not really sure on that. And let's go ahead and test the vertical linearity to see what we got here. Yeah, so there we go. I was right on that. So it actually it adjusts the basically the it stretches the bottom and the top and bottom halves along the equator for equality between the top and bottom halves of the screen. Now I am not seeing any pots to adjust pin cushion on this. It's probably too old for that, but pin cushion is there. It's barely noticeable, but it is there. So yeah, there's that. There's also no option for horizontal stretching. So you know, there's no adjustment for that. So that's out of the question as far as I know. So yeah, off camera, I'm going to go ahead and fine tune this display pattern here. Just want to get the best I can. What I'm probably going to do is I'm going to use just a ruler and just measure length differences between different sections of the pattern. I want to try to get it as close as I can to perfect. And yeah, I'll be done with this. So then we'll go ahead and put it back together. Okay, so I've got the plastic all nice and white here. I'm basically ready to go ahead and reassemble the CRT. Before I do that, I do want to go over some precautions that you need to take if you decide to actually clean your plastic like I did. So let's take a look at the front of the case here. It looks great. Not all of the yellow came off. I don't know if you can see that, but there's still some yellow that's just really not coming out. Yeah, I mean, I went over this like 3 times on 3 different days. I went over this, and it got most of it out, but there's still some flecks in there where it didn't get that yellow out. Can't do anything about that, but it's pretty good. Also, I want to go over, like an idiot, I did not cover the logo up, so the logo is faded now. The colors are not right anymore. If you look at an actual picture of an Apple II logo, this is not that. So yeah, this is completely my fault. I didn't cover that up like I was supposed to, and I'm retarded. So yeah, don't do what I did. Make sure you cover up your logo if you with some tape or something if you decide to do this. So yeah, I'm kind of disappointed about that, because that's when you go to use the computer, this is what you see. It sucks. Anyway, I can't really fix that. So there's that. Also, the back label, or the label on the back of the monitor here, you can kind of see it has actually turned green because I also did not cover it up. That solution turned the label kind of green, like it did to the disc 2C if you watch that video. So again, don't be stupid like me and cover up the label if you decide to go with cleaning the plastic. So just some precautions. Don't do what I did. Take a little bit better care of your stuff, and don't be stupid like me. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and reassemble the CRT now, and we'll go ahead and get it fixed back up. Alright guys, so there's the monitor. Got it all put back together, got it attached to the stand, and let me tell you, it looks good in white. Yellow does not do it justice. So I'm just going to flip this thing around so you can see it. Man, this thing's heavy. So you can't see this in the video. If you remember correctly, the top of the case was really yellow. It was bad. not all the yellow came out. Most of it did, maybe 95%. But there is just a tinge of yellow in this. You really can't see it, but it is there. So not really worried about that, but just an FYI, it might not get rid of all the yellow if you go with the stuff that I used. Maybe if you made your own retro bright, it would work better. I don't know. I've never used a homemade retro bright, so you know, there you go. The other side here. There's the other side, and yeah, I mean, God, it just looks so much better in white than it does in yellow. It just really shows the beauty that, you know, the beauty and craftsmanship that Apple put into the 2C. So that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something. I gotta say, the green monochrome monitors are like probably one of my favorite monitors of all time. You know, even if they're not made by Apple, you know, whoever makes them, I like the green phosphorus monitors. They're just so retro and so cool. So thanks for watching the video, guys. I hope you learned something, and take care.